Alright guys, such Kremp again. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day. So far, an awful lot happening in Rostermania right now. Big rumours as to what the Los Angeles Thieves and Atlanta FaZe especially are up to, and potentially someone might have signed a contract somewhere. Big rumours as to what FaZe are going to do to build around Simp for 2026. They've had some ideas in mind. Are they pulling the trigger, or are they going to continue to bide their time? Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new, as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. Plenty to get into. Just wanted to start here, of course, with what concluded on the HyDra side last night, because as we know, some of these players, maybe even many of these players, will look to come to the Call of Duty League. If they are going to do so, they will have to make their decisions relatively shortly. Formal said that he's going to leave that decision until after the HyDra season is over, at which point likely a COD return for the upcoming season is not particularly plausible. But for somebody like Legends, he's made it clear that he wants to come in sooner than then, which will be interesting if he does come to Black Ops 6 and there are offers for him on the table, because, you know, is that going to take his attention away from HyDra or whatever? There will be some conversations on it. But anyway, OpTic ended up making it to the grand finals, but they lost 4-3 in the first set against Shopify Rebellion, not with the best slayers, so they've got a couple more events in their season to conclude it. Now, yesterday we saw lots of drama with aBeZy, and really it's been over the last few days. This was a couple of follow-up tweets here between Octane and Ben last night, and the pros are, you know, they're going in on Ben right now, because Standy tweets this out yesterday, aBeZy versus the CDL. Even Kenny here was in the replies. We know that Kenny had a few words for aBeZy just the other day, and we have some excellently entertaining clips to share for you guys here in a second. aBeZy was actually doubling down on this last night, but let's talk about the roster stuff. If you guys missed it from yesterday, the latest rumor is that JoeDeceives is the key player in this roster period for the time being. Gentlemates apparently gave an offer to Ultra which was rejected, although maybe they'll come back with a more substantial offer. We know that these things do happen in COD. You guys probably remember when OpTic were trying to get Pred from Surge, and they were like, oh yeah, great, we'll take whatever the money was. And then they said, actually, no, we won't. And then OpTic offered more, and then they said, actually, no, we won't, we won't take that either. And it was an absolute mess. And in the end, of course, they got him for free, because they ended the season, they picked up Pred, and we know the history since then. So we know that buyouts can be pretty controversial, especially when there are multiple teams in the race. Now, what I find interesting about this is where the Falcons play into this whole discussion. We believe they're in the race for Cellium, at least to some extent. But if I'm Falcons and I'm seeing FaZe and Thieves and Gentlemates trying to throw a bag at Toronto to get JoeDeceives, I'm thinking, damn, like, do I want JoeDeceives? Like, do we want him as well? Maybe that could be an option, right? Because we know that for Falcons, they are, well, at least the theory was going into the World Cup, that after the World Cup, they were going to drop TJ and they were going to bring in a high-profile SMG. And who could that be? Could it be aBeZy? Possibly. Could it be someone like JoeDeceives? I think absolutely. If you look at JoeDeceives' player card on the season, his objective work was definitely right up there. He had like 70 seconds pretty much per 10 minutes in hardpoint. He had, I think, the highest control ticks captured per round for an SMG in the league. So from an objective perspective, Joe is definitely a man that these teams will want to consider. And when you've got a slayer like Pred on the team, or a slayer like HyDra on the team, or a slayer like Simp on your team, then it's absolutely something that you'd want to consider. So who's going to get Joe? Is anyone going to get Joe? Because as we know, Toronto want to keep him, obviously. They would like to build maybe him and aBeZy or something like that as a duo on their team if the money is right. So that is currently the hold up, it seems. Until this JoeDeceives situation is resolved, these other rosters are probably not going to finalize their team, although maybe they already have, and we'll get to that here in just a couple of seconds. Couple of clips to share. I wanted to just talk a little bit about the whole Thief situation, because Attach was talking about it, the whole Drazah Scrappy beef that's prevented them, it seems, teaming up here. Although there was some discussion that it's not like the attempts to squash the beef were unsuccessful, it's more that they didn't even try, because Drazah, like, you know, just doesn't want to go there, and therefore he won't be going there, right? So that's how it is for now, and that doesn't seem especially likely to change. So who should Thieves get? Should they go and get Cellium? Should they go and get Abuzah? Is there somebody else if they are going to replace Ghosty? As I say, with the Los Angeles Thieves considering Envoy to be gone in place of JoeDeceives, that really raises the question, right? Because, okay, maybe they keep Envoy in the end, maybe they keep Ghosty, I don't know. Right now they've not confirmed anything. but it's quite clear based on the rumours that they have at least considered dropping Ghosty and Envoy, and maybe they will get rid of both. I think in an ideal world, if Thieves could get the players they want for the money they want to pay, they would drop Envoy and Ghosty, and maybe Scrap and HyDra don't want to do that, but it seems that the management and the coaching staff or whatever does, if they can get the money to be right, and if they can actually get those players rather than somebody else getting the players that they want, because Thieves spent a lot of money to form that team. They don't probably want to spend a load more money if they don't necessarily have to. So I think that's where the debate on some of these players gets real interesting. But for Thieves, if they do get rid of Ghosty, there are a couple of options. Abuzah was kind of the first name talked about and still is maybe the most gettable of the players and could potentially be an upgrade. But Cellium on paper brings the slaying power, doesn't he, right? Now, him and Scrap as an AR duo, I don't know how many more kills there are going to be to go around on the map at that point. But Attach has his opinions on maybe who they should consider instead. But so does JCap. We know that JCap is like the biggest Cellium hater. At least, not saying he's a Cellium hater exactly, but like he hates his playstyle, right? Like not personal beef exactly. But Jacob's been very clear that he's not a big fan, wasn't a big fan when he was coaching Thieves a couple of years ago of the way that Cellium play the game. And as far as Jacob is concerned, if that doesn't change for Cell, he would absolutely not be signing him to the Los Angeles Thieves if he was the one making the decision. So those couple of clips to share, then we'll talk about 04 and potentially FaZe.
Do you think Toby would be a good pickup?
Yeah, I think Toby would be a great pickup, but I don't think Scrap would do that again.
And I'm still taking it. And I'm still taking Abe.
Tyler, get his ass!
That's the crux of the problem.
Tyler's in my chat.
Bro, hold on.
Tyler said Ben is the biggest dick sucker of all time.
Oh!
Get his ass, Tyler!
Zoros, welcome back for 4.
Maybe instead of fucking cooking me in chat, he could have focused on his gameplay this season, brother. Brother, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, dude, like cooking me, fine, fair. You could be mad at me, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he could have played better this season. It is what it is, bro. That's what I feel about it.
He's gonna be able to help in strategy. He's great in search. Like the kid's just talented.
So Paco and so in S&D, Paco and Abe love to be able to roam and find space and get blood. So you're telling me either them or whoever the main AR is, the person that's got to play slow and make sure you're not feeding the bomb in their fucking spawn or wherever in their shit spawn.
Yes, and they're not dumb.
You think they can figure it out?
Like they're gonna be able to work around this. I asked this like 3-4 times in interviews.
That's a shitty answer. I don't know.
Tyler said in the chat, Rome and S&D, this guy doesn't even understand a lick of COD.
Okay, well.
So Tyler's getting the first blood, but I mean,
Tyler can roast me, but like he had one of the lowest first blood win percentages at the last 2 events of the season. So like, what's his value in search at the end of the year, brother? Like, what's your value in search at the end of the year, brother? You're not planting bombs. You're not getting kills. What are we doing here?
When you do something for 5 or 6 years and he's the #1 first blood getter in the fucking game and he has a 1-2 off events.
Go on gameplay right now and look at the first blood
because
stats.
maps could be totally different. The game could play way different.
Ben is fucking confident.
Like we didn't.
LAT, I saw the rumors, man. I mean, Cellium, he's good. He has a high KD, very slow on the map. He gets like a little bit of hill time, but not the most. And don't even get me started on Cellium's comms right now. There's someone who I've seen in the trenches who struggled at times, but has only learned, has incredible comms. From scrimming them, you could just tell he's a born winner. He will push pace. He will do his best for the team. He's a very selfless player as well, and he brings the passion. So Ernesto, if you hear this, make sure you check out some gameplay for Exceed. He was going absolutely crazy at EWC, not only taking out 1, but 2 professional CDL teams. So Exceed, he's on my radar, and you don't want to be a team that doesn't take the chance and scoops him up. Then he's knocking you out of events next season. So LAT, maybe you switch it up. You switch it up, man. He'll be pushing the pace, fantastic comms. He'll be making your job so much easier, okay? Tell him what you told me, Kat.
I disagree with it, dude.
Okay.
I despise Cell's play style.
Okay.
We'll see though. I mean, if they can get him to switch it up, but I have a feeling he might go there, and then all of a sudden we see Paco and Scrap's numbers slip a bit. And we're like, oh my god, are they washed?
Bro, I feel like that's such like a black and white way to look at it, though. Like I think it's gonna if he goes there, he would change. Like he has to because he's good enough to do it. Like he can move and shoot and has good movement.
His talents.
Yeah, he has the capability to do it. He just needs to do it.
But he hasn't for 6 years.
Zen, what do you think of this take?
5 years, 4 years, I don't know.
Okay, my honest raw opinion is the best fit they can get is Drazah, but it won't happen because of Ernie and Draz. But Draz is the best fit.
I agree. I agree. I agree. He should be the #1 target.
Like their pacing would be great. I think their comms. The issue
is that what people are saying? They're saying this team sucks, Dylan.
Oh, they're saying it. They don't like it, Tom. They don't like it.
Oh man, what do you think about the team, Dylan? What do you think about this team, Dylan? What do you think?
Listen,
you think they suck, Dylan? You think they suck?
On paper, I don't think they suck. But on paper, a lot of people are going to be giving it a lot of flack, which they are.
Oh, that's
but I think this is a good long-term team.
Damn.
You got Rencor, you got 04. Abuzah is really nice as well.
It's a young team.
It could pan out a little bit better.
It's a very young team, Dylan. It's a very young team.
It is a young team. It is a young team.
04's 20. Rencor's 20 years old, right? These guys are 20 years. How old is Abuzah?
I think 24 or 25. He's older. He's older.
Yeah,
he's a little older.
Abuzah's older, right?
But Rencor and fucking 04 are hella young.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a good. I think it's a good long-term team.
Wait, Rencor is 23. Is he really?
Yeah, he's 23.
Oh, he's 23?
These were the Cellium cards on the season, by the way. We did see them the other day. But yeah, hill time at 10, ticks per rounds. Okay, it was okay, maybe, in terms of hill time. Certainly online, but on land dropped off a fair little bit, although the damage per 10, kills per 10 were pretty similar. And yeah, look, does Jacob have a point? Obviously, Jacob is very much on one side of the discussion. Others are on the other side of the discussion when it comes to Cellium. Everyone knows that the potential is in there to be, well, he's already a world champion. He's a multiple event winner. 11 championships Cellium has won. Should it have been more? Could it have been more? Maybe yes. I mean, absolutely yes. They made like 25, 28 finals or something over the last few years. But now the team is blowing it up. Should Thieves go and get him? Would there be complications there? It's a debate people are going to find themselves on either side of. But talking of his former team in FaZe, it doesn't look like Cellium's going to go back to FaZe as it stands. And are they considering another option? So 04 tweaked this one out last night. And here we go again. We've got the contract signed GIF. The off-season has officially begun. So is this for real or is this not? Because we know that there were rumours that 04 was getting linked to FaZe. But as we discussed over the last few minutes, there are also rumours that FaZe are looking at trying to get JoeDeceives. And Gentlemate gave an offer to Toronto that was rejected. Thieves maybe, have tried to have a conversation about it. Maybe they don't have all the money in the world and probably neither do FaZe. If I honestly had to predict an outcome to this whole JoeDeceives saga, it would be that Toronto just keep him, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the conclusion, but it's also very likely that he might potentially get sold elsewhere. Toronto have done that on occasion. And would FaZe, let's say they do sell, let's say hypothetically, they sell aBeZy to the Falcons, they would get some cash in for that. They would maybe be able to spend that money to get JoeDeceives from Toronto. That might be the way that FaZe are thinking about it. Maybe that could happen. But while that situation is ongoing, it seems pretty unlikely that they would lock in 04. There is a rumour that they are looking at 04, and FaZe 04 seems like a very plausible situation. And 04 tweaked out contract signs, which, well, it means one of two things. Either it means he signed with FaZe. I can't imagine he would have signed somewhere else right now, because the FaZe situation is still in flux. And that is potentially a possibility. I'm sure that they have at least considered him. Taylor was, he did the tweet the other day saying that as far as he's aware, the most recent team that he heard was Simp, 04, Abuzah, and Rencor, right? Obviously, FaZe would also have to pay money in this scenario to buy Rencor out of his contract. Maybe if the Falcons paid them enough for aBeZy, hypothetically, they could afford both. But that was a rumour. So either he signed for FaZe, because I don't see him signing for anyone else, or it's just bait. And I think, based on my understanding, it's likely that this is just bait, and it's pretty damn likely this is just bait, and that nothing has happened just yet. So I think we are probably at that time of the roster period where people are going to start tweeting stuff like this, even though it's not necessarily true. So I don't think that he's signed yet, and I don't think that he's signed with FaZe, but he may have, and he may still do in the near future. But I think while this JoeDeceives situation figures itself out, I don't expect FaZe to go and pick up 04 any anybody else, because obviously JoeDeceives would be higher on the pecking order than 04 hypothetically, and if they could get him and Simp, you know, that would be a real strong SMG pairing, I think, to take into next season. But obviously Thieves don't want to let that happen. Toronto probably don't want to let that happen unless the price is right, and maybe Falcons are looking at a whole situation as well from the sidelines as well. So that's how we currently understand the situation is going. Simp also did that whole Doctor Strange tweet yesterday, then he did another one. So I don't know if he thinks he's cooking up something kind of special here or whether he's got some good ideas for what that team is going to be. But as we know, whatever FaZe do from a roster perspective, it's going to be a downgrade. But could they still form a team that makes them competitive next season? You know, there was a theory the other day that next year's season is going to be cooked because only OpTic are going to be any good. I mean, that's never going to be true. But, like, you know, the talk was, well, Thieves, are they really upgrading? Are FaZe upgrading? No. You know, what are Toronto doing? Are they, maybe they keep JoeDeceives, but are they going to do enough outside of that? How much do Toronto want to commit? Do they want to try and get aBeZy themselves and form a real super team over there? I think there's a good chance that Toronto could do that this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. But maybe FaZe have, you know, found some money and they're going to try and cook something up after all of what we've seen over the last few seasons and all the drama that, as we know, has unfolded. So, yeah, some thoughts, obviously, from the community on that potential roster, the Simp 04 Abuzah Rancor team. Will that happen? You know, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Is it most likely? I mean, right now there are so many things in flux that it's basically impossible to call at this point what is going to happen next. But very much enjoyed your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.